Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, oh my God, how many times have I said that when I ran the Café Gallery at Gallery Cabaret? But oftentimes when I would start the open mic early, especially at the cafe on Tuesday nights, I would start by reading poetry from recent Scars Publications book releases, which I'm doing in honor of that right now, especially because I moved away and because they seem to be having less poetry and more music at the Café Gallery place, and the cafe is closed down. So in honor of that, I'm doing these readings on these times and sharing them on these days for you. I'm going to read to you a couple of poems, 3 or 4, from the brand new cc&d book that is titled What Now, My Love? That is the February 2022 issue. Is volume 330. I can't believe it. 330, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, I'm going to start with a political one that is in here. I hope you will enjoy it. I've already got the page open for it. And it is titled, Ukraine Rights, Freedom, and Peace. It doesn't matter if the Cold War is over. The U.S. will always turn a cold shoulder to one leader who wants everyone to be equal. Translation, drop people down to the lowest common denominator and ask all to be happy with their lower caste. So in '86, after Ukraine's Chernobyl meltdown, still in the Soviet Union, shorthand for USSR, globally we saw damage throughout Europe and only later learned of the shoddy efforts to keep this nuclear reactor running so they could flex strength and superiority over the US. Still taking years for Ukraine to break free, their job was then to monitor the monster that once rained nuclear ash the size of silver dollars down on the townspeople. And they did well, but people hated their leader and voted a comedian to rule. A literal stand-up comic was voted into power. And this may have been the point when Putin would bring Russia's forces in so that he could take more of Mother Russia's land back. The world didn't expect the once comedian, now leader Zelensky to do more than crumble under the pressure. But he got rid of the business suit and got in the trenches with his fellow men, live-streaming the post-battle damage. This is how countries save themselves at their inception, and not with bureaucracy, but fighting tooth and nail for their rights. It may be bloody, it may seem hopeless, but when you know it's right, you know you have no choice. People around the world rally their support, send weapons, allow refugees, and some too far away to make a difference only show symbols of their support. Facebook profile pics become adorned with the Ukraine flag. Maybe it's because we abhor those pinko commies, but maybe it's fundamentally because we know a bully when we see one, and we all, deep down, support what's right. And actually, it has been a year, and for the longest time I had the Ukraine flag on with a profile picture of me that was from my last feature at Gallery Cabaret, actually. But that was my political theme poem. I hope you guys enjoy it, because I think it glows with, because it's supposed to be a section of block of poems like I would do at the beginning of open mics. I think I'm going to do 3 that are in the Me Too poetry section of this book. There are women's issues ones that are all post Roe v. Wade. You can even see I'm going to the Me Too section in cc&d here. But these are not only appearing in this book, which I've put down, but they also are in, let me see if I can show the cover well for you, nice and big. The cover has just been finally approved from Cyberwit Press. This is from the book Testament. I have no idea how this is looking on these things for you guys, but Cyberwit Press is a press in India. Taj Mahal Review, they do even, and they are doing, this is a book that is coming in 4 sections, and the first section of the book is all post-Roe v. Wade poems, which I thought I would put a couple of them in here for you and share them with you. And this first one's a short one, and it's called Flags at Half-Mast. Driving across the country, we passed a car dealership in Arkansas, U.S. flags at half-mast. I wondered if there was another mass shooting, but no other flags around were lowered. As we drove toward the next town, we wondered if the flags were at half-mast because of the recent overturning of Roe v. Wade. and the death of women's rights. A short one for you guys. This next one, another piece that was going to be in Testament and What Now, My Love, as I turn the page, is titled, After All We've Accomplished. After the honor roll, after acceptance into the third best college in the country, after the dean's list, after the big city job that paid more than the men she dated, after battling for our lives, after piloting an airplane, after jumping out of an airplane, after swimming with sharks, after swimming in the Southern Ocean and camping close to the South Pole, after taking care of the house and keeping finances in order, after raising the children, only after putting our lives on hold, after being a television star, after being a rock star, after being a movie star, after traveling the world to bring food and water to third world countries, after running for Congress, after being a senator, after being the Secretary of State, after holding a seat on the Supreme Court, after winning the Nobel Peace Prize for using my brain, after being the Vice President, after running for presidency, after doing so much, after accomplishing so much, some bastards who know nothing of the plights of women try to decide they know what's best for a woman's private parts. They try to come along and strip us of our most basic rights, our right to our bodies, our right to choose. Haven't we fought this battle before? After all we've accomplished, what war do we have to do when religious conservatives believe that we're worth less than something that's never lived? Why does the weaker sex choose to take away the rights of the sex who truly has the power to choose when to start life? And really, why have we been so pigeonholed that we have to work again to prove to the ignorant that they're wrong? I freak out when I read things like this. I got one more. Haha. One more in the end of the poetry section here. Oh, in the end of the Me Too section. One more poem for you guys to share. Uno más, ladies and gentlemen. This is in the cc&d books. What Now, My Love is also going to be in the 2023 Book Testament from Cyberwit Press. This is called Unless It's About Suppressing Life. Before the overturning of Roe v. Wade, a number of the United States in America set trigger laws that would instantly restrict a woman's right to an abortion. Trigger laws. That sounds just a little Second Amendment-y, doesn't it? Or would that be Second Amendment-ish? You get the point, the right to bear arms. But this is woven in the U.S. Constitution, originally under the premise to protect ourselves from a government gone wrong, now revered for hunts, sports, protection. These trigger laws are about killing from the stroke of a pen instead of a weapon. Because no, these trigger laws are not about stopping the killing of something yet to live. They're about killing the rights of women, plain and simple. Now, these trigger laws are proof that the Second Amendment is alive and well, no matter which side of the political aisle you claim allegiance. Americans want their Second Amendment so much that they will be ready to kill at the drop of a hat, and then use trigger laws to remove rights from half of the people too. Don't think these people care for embryos when they don't even care for foster children, kids that are suffering, already alive. That's not the issue. It's not about life at all, unless it's about suppressing life, either from the stroke of a pen through a religious edict or the pulling of your precious trigger. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed those readings. Those were from the CC&D book, What Now, My Love? I just finished that one up for you. They also appear in the 2023 Cyberwit book, I Just Approved This Cover. I just approved this cover from the printer for Testament. And my husband was even telling coworkers about this. He's like, no, you've got to find just the right ampersand. Because at the bottom it talks about life, ampersand, death, plus poetry styled from the Holy Bible. And I'm like, I have to find just the right ampersand. Hey, the right plus sign, this one looks like it's a crucifix. I kind of like that. So this is all set and it's the coolest thing. And I think that this cover has just been approved. So in a couple months, this book will be released. Check that out. I hope you enjoyed these readings from CC&D and from Testament, and thank you so very much. I will come with another reading. I will put this one out maybe on for a Tuesday for the cafe, and I'll do a reading for another thing for Café Gallery for you guys this week. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope everyone is poetically inclined, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you very, very soon. Thank you all so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.